So we're at the Toccoa car show. They got some huge trophies. I don't expect to win one. Let's look how big they are. I'll walk over here where you can see them. As big as me. And I tell you why I don't expect to win one, because I parked over there between two black cars, and they're so shiny and black, they just jump right out at you. Make mine look like an old doll shoe. That's okay though. I'm happy with what I got. Look at this 40 Ford right here. This is fabulous. Woo. Howdy, neighbor. There's a 39 over there. I love that. I'll just walk around all of them. Well, I guess I could look at this one some more. I suspect somebody spent $1 or $2 on that one. But you can't get interior like that if you don't. That's what I think. Ooh, a 396 and a Chevy C10. Well, that's not something you see every day. Oh, sure, Bob. There's a real T-bucket over here. The kind they used to see back in the old days, but you don't see a lot anymore. Man, that's a cool T-bucket.
Thanks, sir.
Holy cow. You spent all the money on that, didn't you?
Not allowed to say.
She's a beauty.
Thank you. I don't know if you remember much about some of the older hot rods. You remember a company called Big Al's Toy Box up in Connecticut? He was like the premier blower motor builder for the 80s and early 90s.
To be honest with you, I know somebody that knew him and has shared cars with him. He lives over in New York.
No, he's dead in a brick now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
His son got the company and running it in the dirt.
Yeah.
But this is the absolute last motor that Big Al himself built.
Wow. Is that what is that?
It's a stroked out 350.
Okay. Man, it looks huge with that big blower sitting on there, don't it?
Well, most people put the little 671 blowers on the small block. This 871 blower, a little bit bigger.
Wow.
She puts out about 700 horsepower and about 650 pounds of torque.
So I bet it's pretty tricky to drive.
At 1,300 pounds, it'll, yeah.
I bet it'll just jump right off the ground, I bet.
I've had the front end about this high off the ground several times.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, it's...
on purpose?
The first time, no. The second time I was showing off.
Yeah.
We was up in the rod run up in Pigeon Forge.
Uh-huh.
And it was the last day and we'd been there all weekend, and I was being nice and wasn't playing too much. And
yeah.
Guy pulled up next to me in a Model A that was all chopped out and sitting real low and loping around, and he got on it a little bit and burnt the tires. And I told my wife, I said, why don't you hop out here a minute, I'm gonna race this guy. And we went she got out and went up to the next light. I'm like, let's lay this thing down.
Ooh.
And we did.
Yeah.
I stood her up on the back tires and I took him by 3 car lengths.
I bet you did.
But I'll never admit or deny that in a court of law.
Oh no, I won't tell anybody. Well, on the other hand, I make YouTube videos, so I could put it on YouTube video. On YouTube, if you let me.
I would be okay.
What's your name?
Michael Farrell.
Michael Farrell. Anything else you want to tell me about this car, Michael?
This is my first one.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at another one this weekend. Actually, on Monday, I may have another one come Monday. The other thing about this that makes this show unique is the rear end on it is actually...
Well, you've got that Corvette independent rear suspension, which was all the rage back in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yep, it's actually out of a 69 Jaguar.
Jaguar, that's right. I said Corvette, but you're right. It was Jaguar. You rattled my memory. I thought I remembered something there.
Well, you know what? The memory's the second thing to go. I just don't remember the first thing.
That could be your money.
That's, well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. You really don't see a lot of, T-buckets were, well, I say they're really, really popular, but it seemed like there was an awful lot of them around way back when in the
you don't see as many
late 60s, early 70s, but you don't really see a lot of them these days.
No,
so.
Mostly what you see is the Camaros and the fender Chevys.
Yeah, and that's funny. I was talking to my YouTubers last night about that. We were driving those cars to the grocery store back when back when Street Rod Association was invented. I was driving a 67 Camaro Rally Sport, and there was my wife's car. She drove it to take the kids to school and stuff like that. And nowadays so many people are driving them.
It had a 71 Roadrunner and a 66 Caprice Classic. I had it for a while, and then I wrecked my Roadrunner, and my mom thought she was doing me a favor, and she sold it to a guy for a 74 Pontiac because it was a newer car. And she thought I'd appreciate it.
Oh, man.
I forgave her, but it took me about 20 years.
Well, that's like my dad. I had a 62 Corvette and was married and talking about having a baby, and my dad said, you need to sell that Corvette. My uncle so-and-so's got a Cadillac he'll sell you. I took his advice, and that was the worst advice I ever took.
Sometimes that is how it happens.
But you know, yeah, we lived through that stuff.
That's it. I'm gonna have to look you up on YouTube.
Yeah, I got it. Well, if you, R-Peak.
R-Peak?
Hard to
Okay.
spell. That's my Studebaker right over there with the blue flames on it. Well, thank you for showing me that.
You're very welcome. Thank you for chatting.
You have a good day.
I will. I'm hoping so. We'll see what happens.
Now, this is a really well done truck of this era. This was, I'm guessing, I'm thinking 69 to 72 is when they made this body style. And I really didn't like this body style when it first came out, but boy, this one here, that is pretty and smooth, and that motor, I'm guessing that's not a stock motor, y'all. Dang, yep, there it is, 69. And you know, when you close the hood, it just pretty much looks like a truck, don't it? That's nice. That's very nice. Mustang here, shiny as can be. I used to go to church with a fella that had one like that, same color and everything. It got crashed, dang. Sure did. I guess this is a Chrysler here. I don't know what it is, but I know that they made something that looked like that. So I guess that's what it is. Love that Mustang though. Boy, that's pretty. I think I saw that. No, I started to say I think I saw that red Chevy truck the other day over at one of the other shows, but that one I saw didn't have the chrome custom thing on the back of the cab. We'll walk around this one, this Camaro. I had a buddy in school who had one of these too. Well, I grew up with a lot of cool cars. I really did. This is not a huge show. It's good. It's going to be in the shade here, so that's good. This is so pretty. Now these are Chevy trucks that I did like. Yeah, I'd like to have me one like this. I'd swap my Rambler for one like that. I sure would. And then we got this beautiful 54 Chevy truck. One of them old style chrome reverses on here with the kind that take the dog dish hubcaps, go over the knob instead of inside of it. The chrome smoothies they make nowadays, it has a baby moon hubcap that goes inside the ridge. This would take the Chevy stock type. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lug. Those were originally 6 lugs back when. Pinstripe right there. Here's somebody coming in a Malibu convertible. We have an absolutely beautiful 33 Ford coupe. Oh, she's a beauty. See if we can get a shot of him coming around. Yeah, he's going along the back side, so we'll go over here.
His daddy-in-law had it back when he was in the Army back when they first come out. He was out in Texas.
I'm going to get around here just in time to barely catch him coming in. So this is a 32 Ford sedan. And I talked one day about the difference between the 31, the Model A, the 32, and the 33. And this one has a 32 style radiator shell, which looks like that.
I'll be 84 this year.
Oh, really? Oh, you don't look it.
Thank you.
I'll be 76.
I know how
Do I look it?
I know how you are.
Yeah.
So this one is the 33. If you notice the radiator shell on it is slanted, sort of like mine is slanted, but not the same. And I was talking about how the other day some people mistake mine for a 33, but it's not. I think this might be. Let's see, other than the 56 Crown Victoria or the T-Birds, I'd say this is one of the, I think it's one of the prettiest Fords ever made. 33, 34. Oh, so much to see. Not a ton of cars here, but enough to get a good chance to see some stuff. Morning, neighbor. That's mighty pretty. Is that yours?
Let's see this going, sir.
She's a nice one. Look at that steering rod back there. Tilted in from out here to get in there to where the steering is. Must be a rack and pinion steering. Oh, she's a beauty. And I'll circle around this Formula One. Come down the other side. This is the Firebird right here. The Firebird, the Trans Am, and the Camaros all had the same body on them, but they had different amenities. Like this had a different nose on it than a Trans Am or a Camaro. But when we used to race, all the body parts and everything were the same. My woods were full of cars like that because we used to race them. We'd knock the doors off of them and put new skins on them, race them some more. That's a 44 pickup truck, if I'm right. And that's a 39, no, yes, 39 coupe, which is different than a 39 pickup truck. That right there is a beauty. This can't be your car. I knew it was way too pretty for you. How y'all doing?
Good.
Well, that thing is some kind of beautiful, ain't it?
Pretty slick.
Huh? Pretty slick, yeah. Pretty slick. Look at your shade chair. I like that. You need that in a place like today, out in the hot sunshine. Here comes some more. Sounds like we got some motorcyclage coming in here. This has a Ford engine, 351, which so many people put Chevy engines in all kind of things these days. That kind of surprises me sometimes when I see a Ford motor. But we got one right there. Let's see what this one's got. That is also a Ford motor. It could be a 289 or 302 or something like that. There's a pretty straight, slick little square box. I wouldn't mind having one of them either. Somebody's got a tricked out golf cart. Look at this. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Fixed up like a Mustang. Like that. Yeah. pretty little Mustang. Oh, there's a real Trans Am over here. You see the nose is different on that Trans Am than it is on that Firebird, but the body's the same.
Park's right there by the bridge. Okay. It's right there on 197. Right by the river.
I've seen it on Facebook. It looked like it had a good turnout.
Yeah? No, I didn't go. I was somewhere else. I thought it was
Let's see what else is coming in here. And then second generation. I think they call it a second generation Camaro Z28. That was in '69. Mine was in '60. No, that's the same as mine. '67-ish, first gen. I'm guessing that's a '68 or '69. Good. That's one I remember when that car came out. It had that little 302 in it. The '69 Z28 with a 302. I can't explain to you the mathematics of why that was a super fast car with a smaller cubic inches, but something about the way they made them. They was hot. They was a hot thing to have. Yes, they were. I was lucky to be alive. I was a senior in high school when those cars came out. Was I? No, I wasn't a senior. I was in 10th grade? Yeah, 9th, 10th grade, somewhere in there. Your car's way too shiny. Although having mine sitting next to yours really makes yours look good, because mine's not too shiny. There's a Plymouth, and she is a pretty thing.
What's wrong, Phil?
Quiet as can be. Well, somebody would be mad at me because I didn't remember the name of this Chrysler over here. This, I believe, was called a Crossfire. I don't know if they still make these or what. And I hope I'm getting that right. Let's see what it says up here. It says Crossfire. Yep, got that right. Okay. Mighty cool little car. I might get myself a hot dog. I did want to walk over here and see this Trans Am though. Hiding back here on the back row. Of course, we got the police here. Got the sheriff. Oh, we got the sheriff and the Dukes of Hazzard over here. Hard to beat that, ain't it? Plus, you got somebody in a Jeep to chase them all down when they get in the mud hole. Howdy, Sheriff.
How you doing?
Good. Yeah. You know, Burt Reynolds is from Georgia, and I own a set of dresser drawers that belonged to him when he was a little kid. I sure do. Bought them out of, well, the lady I bought them from bought them out of the house that he lived in. Well, that's a fine, beautiful car. They really was doing it right back in them days. Before the government came in and made everybody start building junky old cars. I appreciate my government for a lot of things, but
Only thing I ever think of.
that ain't one of them.
Who's gonna hold your hat, Daddy? that's cool.